guys, welcome back to our channel. So today we thought we would do a video talking all things wedding. We are currently 15 or 16 days out from our wedding day and we are so excited. So we thought we would share with you all the details we've done for the wedding, what we've booked, what we need to do, and also a little story about how my wedding dress got lost. Where to begin? So Josh proposed on the 22nd of March 2019, so that was probably around 7 months ago. It was such a great time and I really loved the whole season of the engagement, and we have done so much in this time with all the planning. My parents even sold their house, and just like we've learnt so much about us going into the wedding through this engagement season. There is so much to plan. Like you think you're just throwing a party and you're like, yeah, you know, how much is there to plan? But when you think about it and break it down, my goodness, like our list is so long and it grows every day. We are only just starting to like tick everything off and have it all organized. I got straight into wedding planning like mode with Josh. We were like, okay, when is the best time to get married? What date do we want? What like month? And we also talked about our honeymoon destination as well. So we kind of worked out the best time for that. So in the first like 1 to 2 weeks of being engaged, I knew that we had to really get onto all the organizing because there is so much to plan in a wedding. So for the first 1 to 2 weeks, we booked our wedding venue, we booked our honeymoon, we booked photographers, we smashed it. So the most crucial part of any wedding is of course the wedding dress. It is the part that girls dream about since I don't know when you're like 6, 7 years old. And I knew that it takes around 6 months for the dress to, you know, from when you've ordered it to when it arrives. And so I decided one weekend I'll go with my mom and my maid of honor, Katie, to the wedding dress shop, and also my dad came as well. And we went down and we tried on all these dresses and I found the dress that I absolutely loved. Everyone had a moment. Mum cried. Katie was like taking photos as she does. My dad was like, yeah, that's the one. And we had the best day doing that. So we, I think we got like $300 off because it was like the same day trying it on. We paid the deposit, paid half the amount of the dress, and then we went off. And they said to me that the dress was going to arrive on the 30th of July. And I was like, awesome, great. That's like April, May, June, July, 4 months away. I was like, perfect. That will arrive in time. I'll be able to get alterations, fine shoes, fine earrings, all that jazz. The 30th of July came around and my dress didn't arrive. And I was like, okay, maybe, you know, maybe it'll come in a few days. Maybe it's just a few days late. So I, you know, just waited until they would call me. They didn't call. And I was getting a little like worried at this stage, but not too much because it was only like a few days after the due date. I think it was around the 3rd or 4th of August. And I decided to ring up the bridal shop and I was like, hey guys, just wondering if my dress has arrived in. And they were super positive about it. They were like, yeah, we have the tracking number. We've got, you've got this dress. We know it's gonna arrive on this date. It'll come Friday. And I was like, awesome, that's so great. It's just been delayed a week. They didn't call me that Friday and I waited a whole nother week. I called them up and I was like, hey, has my wedding dress arrived? It was meant to arrive on the 30th of July. It's now like the 14th of August. And the lady on the other end was like, sorry, you didn't order your wedding dress with us. I was like, hold up. How can I go from a phone call where you've ordered it and you know it's gonna arrive on Friday too. You are now telling me that I didn't order my wedding dress through you? I just was like, I couldn't believe it. I kind of just like almost shut down. I was like, all right, that's fine. I definitely did. Can you please like find my dress? The manager at the bridal shop rang me up and was like, hey Meg, so we've tried to contact the place where your dress is coming from and we don't know where it is. I was like, am I on Bride Wars or am I on like a bridal movie right now? Because this is ridiculous. I need to know where my dress is. My wedding is in a month. I was like super calm on the phone too. I was like, it's all good. Let me know when it's gonna arrive. That's fine. And then I told my mum and she was like, what the heck? How dare they? They need to find that dress. So she rang up and we essentially just said like, look, where is it? We need to know where this dress is. And the bridal shop had kind of figured out what had happened, and it turns out that the box that it was coming in had no tracking number. So they legit had no idea if it was gonna arrive on time, I would be walking down the aisle in it, or it would arrive late. We have no idea. We were just like praying that it would arrive. I was actually extremely calm, and I was just like so shocked that my dress, like no one knew where it was. So I actually got a free veil out of it, which was so lovely of them, and I'm so thankful because veils are another expense and they are so expensive as well. So that was actually so sweet of them, and they worked really hard to get my wedding dress. They were calling the bridal shop in Spain every second day to make sure it would arrive in time. So it was the end of August and we were 1 month away from the wedding date, and I received a phone call from the bridal shop, and it was the manager, and she was like, hey lovely Meg, just letting you know that your wedding dress has arrived. I was at work and I was so stoked because I was like, my goodness, like calling it very close. But I was so stoked that it had arrived and I couldn't wait to go pick it up. A few days later, I went down with my mum and one of my bridesmaids, Natasha. We tried it on and it was so beautiful. I actually wish I could show you guys, but again, can't do that. I don't know why I said again, because I haven't said it, but yeah, I just can't do that. In the end, everything worked out. The bridal shop were excellent in dealing with it. They even though there was a few issues along the way, they were able to track it down, get it to me as fast as possible, and they made it a priority. I cannot wait to show you all. I cannot wait to show Josh. It has been probably the hardest thing keeping this beautiful dress that I've got hanging up in my cupboard hidden from him. So that is my crazy wedding dress story. I never thought it was gonna happen to me, but it did. And it is one to tell for the ages, I guess. But yeah, I just also want to say a big thank you to everyone that has been congratulating me over Instagram and Facebook, and yeah, just make sure you like, comment and subscribe down below. We always like to hear from you, and maybe let us know what you would like to see in the future. I don't know. Thanks for coming and listening to my story. Bye guys!